Coming up next on KPBS Evening Edition, San Diego City Attorney is preparing for battle as he defends the pension reform initiative. We'll also continue our series on kids beating the odds, staying in school even though they're homeless.
And we'll introduce you to a blind veteran who's now helping others go into business. KPBS Evening Edition starts now.
Hello, thanks for joining us. I'm Joanne Farian.
And I'm Peggy Pico.
San Diego City Attorney Jan Goldsmith has sent a harsh letter to the state agency that oversees labor laws. He was responding to the Public Employment Relations Board decision to ask a court to remove the pension reform initiative from the June ballot. The measure replaces pensions with 401ks for most new city hires and freezes the base pay of current employees for 5 years. The state board is requesting a preliminary injunction against the ballot measure until it completes a review of an unfair practices claim filed by the city's largest union. In a letter to the Labor Board's attorney, Goldsmith wrote, "While ignoring the fact that 116,000 signatures were obtained, your complaint appears to allege that the initiative is really a city-sponsored initiative because of the mayor's support. You're going after San Diego in order to get a citizens' initiative off the ballot without any legal basis. We ask you that you stop this frivolous lawsuit." Jan Goldsmith will be at the KPBS Evening Edition Roundtable Wednesday to talk about the lawsuit.
A North County tribe has filed suit to stop construction on a road just north of Highway 76. The proposed road is supposed to serve the Meadowood development and several other communities planned for the area just off Interstate 15. But the San Luis Rey Band of Mission Indians says the road will cut through an ancient burial ground. They've filed a lawsuit against San Diego County and developer Party Homes to get the road realigned. County officials say work doesn't need to be permanently stopped to deal with the Indian remains found in that area.
The Del Mar Fairgrounds has agreed to make $5 million in improvements over the next 5 years to settle claims it violated state coastal laws. The complaint stemmed from a concert stage and dirt parking lot that were placed near the San Dieguito wetlands. The lot will be returned to wetlands. The California Coastal Commission still has to approve the deal.
The San Diego Unified School District has settled with the ACLU in a freedom of speech case at La Jolla High School. The district was sued last year after the school whitewashed messages painted onto 3 benches. Those messages were painted by members of the school's Persian Club. The principal said only positive messages of school spirit were allowed. The ACLU said that guideline was too vague. Now there are new guidelines. They are no obscenities and no slander allowed. This week we've brought you stories about San Diego's unified growing homeless student population.
Tonight, the final part of the series from KPBS education reporter Kyla Calvert about a school in southeast San Diego that's making significant academic gains while serving kids who traditionally struggle in school, including 40 to 50 homeless students.
The students in Yolanda Riquelme's morning science class at Sherman Elementary are part of a unique program. The neighborhood school in Sherman Heights is the only school in the city where kids spend half the day learning in English and the other half in Spanish. The approach is paying off. Test scores have soared in the last 2 years, and they're making those gains with groups of students who traditionally struggle academically. Almost all of the school's students are from low-income families, 80% are learning English as a second language, and Principal Edward Caballero points out one more group that faces a lot of challenges.
Finally, our homeless population is about 8%. We average anywhere between 40 and 50 students.
Families transitioning in and out of homelessness tend to move around a lot. That can mean moving their children from one school to another, sometimes multiple times a year.
Good morning.
Gina Gardner coordinates services for Sherman's homeless families and says she wants students to feel at home on day one.
Our enrollment clerk will let me know if the family needs assistance with uniforms, and also if I'm here on site during that day, I'll ask the student to come on back and we'll outfit them with the loaner uniforms so they can start their day looking like everyone else.
Uniforms are just the beginning. Gardner also coordinates food packages kids take home for the weekends, works with shelters to get families off the street, and helps get students health insurance and glasses. When Clara Soto enrolled her children at the school in 2008, they were doubling up with other family members because Soto was sick and couldn't work. She says that getting that kind of help from Sherman's counselor got her family back on stable footing.
She helped me a lot. She got me bus passes. She got me clothes for the kids. She helped me get things I needed. She helped me with counseling, with everything.
4 years later, her 3 youngest children are still at Sherman, and the family has a stable home of their own near the school. Soto wanted to stay in the area, in part because of the support she and her children got when they needed it most. Gardner says Soto's experience is common at Sherman.
They seem to be a little wary at first, I think, of coming in, being new, coming from whatever situation that they had to come from, and then really end up enjoying the school site and staying with us, seeing their kids progress just like any other student and finding a welcoming place here.
A lot of the services Gardner can connect families with come through the district's Office of Children and Youth in Transition. Heather Jan works with Sherman's staff to get families what they need. She says building the connections that make families want to stay is part of their larger goal for all of the nearly 3,500 homeless students in the district.
It's the one place in their world that may be stable, and so we try to keep that intact for them and try to have as much normalcy as possible for that child and that family.
But coming into a new school in the middle of the year is a challenge for students and teachers.
Está perfecto.
Yolanda Riquelme says she invites new students to join a group she tutors before school.
And I think the fact that they are here with a group of kids 3 times a week in the classroom before school, and the parents do come and observe what's happening, I think that makes them feel totally integrated.
Riquelme's students spend the Spanish half of their day with her and the English half next door with Tom Sides. Sides says part of what makes the school successful with students who start in the middle of the year and sometimes only stay a few months is teamwork.
We meet almost every day after school. We have planned days where we meet as a grade level. I meet with my partner. I meet with my other English partners. So there's a lot of collaboration going on. So we talk a lot about, okay, this child doesn't speak Spanish nor English, and their native language might be Arabic, and what do we do?
Caballero says everyone's focus is on making sure even the children with the most stacked against them succeed.
We always deal with what we call in Spanish, pobrecito, poor little one. And we can describe all the things that should be holding the student back, but it's really our job that when they come at 9 o'clock in the morning that we teach them to read, write, mathematics, science, and social studies, because that's what we get paid for. And so all those outliers that present this is why the child should not succeed, we check those at the door.
Gardner says a lot of homeless families do end up having to leave the area because their circumstances can change quickly. Many homeless students are only at the school for 3 or 4 months. Plenty of schools just let these families go. But Gardner does what she can to help kids that enroll at Sherman stay there, like signing them up for free bus passes provided by the district.
Typically, a family will come in and say, oh my gosh, we're moving. What can we do to stay? And we'll say, oh, we have these services here. And by the way, you have the right to stay here too.
Sherman's staff believe any child might beat the odds with support like that.
That was KPBS education reporter Kyla Calvert. You can see our entire series on homeless students at our website, kpbs.org.
About 20% of current combat injuries result in blindness or vision impairment. That's the highest number of visual disabilities acquired by troops since the Civil War. But one San Diego vet I spoke with today helps others benefit from blindness in the business world.
I'm total blind. I'm hard of hearing. I have to use hearing aids. I have a post-traumatic stress disorder.
With the aid of his service dog Crockett, Vietnam veteran Urban Mayeras lives with the severe disabilities he got in 1968 when he and his platoon were attacked.
They thought I was dead in the field and put me in a body bag where I stayed for 2 days until a medic, Brian Leet, was unzippering body bags. He was assigned to put toe tags on the dead soldiers, identify who they were by putting their name on a toe tag. And when he opened my body bag, said there was something different, felt a pulse, and rushed me to the hospital.
Urban returned home to his young wife, sightless. To support his family, he got a job on Wall Street. But back then, it wasn't blindness that got him fired.
We're not going to have any baby-killing, needle-toting Vietnam veterans working for this company. And sent me home, welcome home, vet.
From then on, Urban went into business for himself, making millions, owning various companies that had nothing to do with being disabled. He now helps other visually impaired and disabled vets become entrepreneurs.
By being your own boss, you can control your future.
Urban oversees a new program that offers free online business courses through the Hadley School for the Blind.
The goal is to educate and inspire blind or visually impaired veterans to pursue their personal and professional goals. And
visually impaired vets and their families can enroll and work at their own pace from anywhere in the world.
The sad statistic is that 7 out of 10 people who are blind are not working.
And you're going to learn with Hadley how to get back in the workplace, be active and productive again. It's because you're a veteran, your job isn't done.
Spouses of visually impaired veterans can also enroll in the free online business course through Hadley School for the Blind.
We're going to the roundtable in just a moment to take a closer look at the challenges of San Diego County's food stamp system.
And later, see the Civic Center undergo a transformation as the San Diego Opera brings Herman Melville's classic tale of the elusive white whale Moby Dick to the stage.
Tonight on KPBS. At 8, it's PBS's longest-running public affairs series, featuring Washington's top journalists analyzing the week's top news. Washington Week with host Gwen Eiffel. Then at 8:30, broadcast media and the web unite with input from an engaged audience. It's Not Your Father's newscast on Need to Know. And at 9, 3 former street criminals place themselves in the line of fire to protect their communities. The Interrupters on Frontline. That's tonight on KPBS.
I'm Jeffrey Brown. On the next News Hour, the latest on the GOP presidential race, plus the analysis of Mark Shields and Michael Gerson. That's Friday on the PBS News Hour.
The American people have named PBS
the most trusted source of news and public affairs for the 8th year in a row.
Trust.
The American people have spoken. Thank you.
KPBS Evening Edition is made possible by Joan and Erwin Jacobs and by
Tony Gwynn says he hopes to be back to coaching Aztec baseball in about a month. The former Padres slugger is recovering from surgery to remove a tumor from his cheek. He told UT San Diego he's feeling great. This is the second time he's had a tumor removed from that cheek in less than 2 years. Gwynn blames 30 years of using smokeless tobacco for the cancer that has attacked his salivary gland. And tonight at the Roundtable, we continue our coverage of San Diego's terrible record in managing the food stamp program.
Last week, we told you about the problems with the county's food stamp helpline, a special phone network designed to help people apply for food stamps and other social services was dropping 5 out of 6 calls. This week, San Diego CityBeat took a closer look at food stamps. Joining me is CityBeat editor Dave Rowland. Thank you for being here, Dave.
My pleasure.
Now, this phone line was actually set up because it was supposed to help people apply for food stamps. What went wrong?
Well, I think it's a matter of the technology and a matter of the number of people that are assigned to take these calls. We have known for about 8 years that San Diego County has really just been hideously bad at enrollment rates. I mean, and we're not talking just bad. I mean, bottom of the barrel bad in terms.
It was 28%, right? Back in 2005?
Yeah. Compared with other metropolitan areas around the country, just really the bottom. So the county has since then made some strides in improving its enrollment rates. But it really is just, at this point, it's still just trying to catch up with the recession and the recession's effect on people in need. And it still has a long way to go to catch up to other areas in terms of enrolling people who need the help.
I think back in 2006, there were about 85,000 people in the county receiving food stamps. We know in 2011 that number grew to over $200,000. But like you say, the participation rate now is only at about 40%, according to this national think tank out of D.C. Now, your reporter, CityBeat reporter Kelly Davis, she actually, in your cover story this week, she spoke to several advocacy groups, people who are on the front lines helping people go through the application process. What did they tell her?
Well, one thing they told her is that they have been telling the county about these problems for years, and they didn't really need this consulting firm, this Intelligy, to come and lay out these problems, because they've known about them for a long time. Look, the problem here is that you mentioned the call center, the access line, and 5 out of every 6 calls are being dropped. What's staggering is the sheer number of them. In September 2011, the access line dropped 406,000 calls in 1 month. That is staggering. And what happens then is all those people who couldn't get through now flood the physical offices, the family resource centers, where things don't get much better there. They have people report serious difficulties in getting through the process when they show up. First of all, it takes them, they show up at 6:30 in the morning, it takes them 2 hours to get in, and then it just becomes more difficult. And it's not just, even if you do get through on the phone line, it's not just one call and you're done. You know, a lot of times it takes follow-up phone calls, follow-up visits to the office. People report that barriers being placed in front of them. Oh, you need this, you need that, and they feel discouraged. They feel like the process actually discourages them from enrolling. I believe the county is starting to try to make things better, but it's got a long way to go.
I know the head of Health and Human Services for the county, Nick Mascione, was on this program last Friday and did say they're hiring 50 new people. They will hire another 50 people in Phase 2. I'm not sure when Phase 2 begins. But so your magazine and Kelly Davis has been doing these stories for several years, as KPBS has as well. We even know that a couple years ago, the USDA, the federal agency that really is in charge of this program, that funds this program, actually came to San Diego and looked at this, didn't it?
Yeah, Kelly says that the USDA will continue to look at it. There's been testimony. I think in 2011 there was testimony from a USDA official that talked about the negative error rate in San Diego County, and it is really, really bad. These
so we're
are
denying people we shouldn't.
Denying people for no good reason, and that San Diego County's rate is much higher than many other metropolitan areas on negative errors, and so that's one thing I know the USDA is looking at, and I wonder if that is really a result of sort of the climate that the County Board of Supervisors establishes at the top of the process, and then it filters down to the people on the front lines working with these people in need, that really is kind of a suspicious climate where they're worried about fraud. And we know that fraud is a really relatively minor problem. And so I believe, and I think a lot of the advocates believe, that the response to the fraud danger has been disproportionate with what that danger is in the first place. Okay,
Dave Rowland, if people at home want to read that story, what's your website?
sdcitybeat.com, or it's free in about 1,400 locations around the county. If they can find one of our red vendor boxes, they can read it that way.
Okay, Dave Rowland, thanks for being here.
My pleasure.
A whale of a tale is headed to the San Diego Opera. Plus, you had a lot to say about San Diego city pensions. Those stories and more coming up in just a moment. This is KPBS Evening Edition.
On Masterpiece Classic.
Was Mr. Bates the one Lady Rosamond told me about? The murderer?
He's been wrongly accused.
My husband's on trial for his life.
What is it? I warn you, even my patience has its limits. You don't have to marry him, you know.
I do have to marry him.
Why?
We're talking to the dead.
Is there anyone there? God knows what we're in for now.
Stop this at once!
Downton Abbey on Masterpiece Classic.
Sunday at 9 on KPBS.
In his teen years, lots of people were saying they expected Bill Clinton to be president someday.
They hated his guts, and they would go to the end of the earth to destroy him.
What a squandering of talent and possibility.
Tonight has made Bill Clinton the comeback kid.
A definitive look at the man and the president. Clinton on American Experience. Monday, February 20th at 9, only on PBS.
The opera Moby Dick kicks off its West Coast premiere on Saturday. KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando went backstage to find out how one actually gets a whaling ship into the San Diego Civic Theater.
10 days ago, the Civic Theater stage looked like this. Crews were frantically unloading trucks filled with all the elements needed to bring Robert Brill's set design for Moby Dick to vivid life.
Well, the crew behind us, there's probably about 50 guys, plus the technical director from Dallas and a couple other programmers for lights.
Ron Allen is director of production at the San Diego Opera.
Overall, by the time we get this show up, we're going to have several hundred people worked on the show.
That's far more people than it took to man an actual whaling vessel. Allen and his crew are essentially bringing novelist Herman Melville's famous whaling ship, the Pequod, into the theater so audiences can join Captain Ahab in his mad pursuit of Moby Dick. Brill's challenge was to bring more than just the Pequod onto the stage.
But eventually arrived at the idea of this floor surface that was both floor and wall that could be traversed by the chorus, and that could be many things.
It could be the deck of a ship, or serve as a screen for projected images of the ocean and of a 3D computer-rendered image of the ship. A ship that feels like it's coming right into your lap.
We did a lot of research on whale boats and how they're constructed. The boat that you see created in 3D was modeled after a period whaling vessel. So we thought that maybe there was a way to integrate the projected idea of a ship, and very quickly that turned into using the idea of the universe in the opening. I think because the way we introduce it is that it starts from the constellations and connecting those lines, and as an audience member you see the lines and you yourself see it assemble. So you're involved in that process of seeing the ship evolve, and then you see the ship go on its journey.
Brill's design serves to find a perfect balance of elements.
You know, trying to find this balance of something that could be both abstract and at times could be very real.
And there are moments when everything comes together in perfect harmony.
I think that the whaleboat scene, because it is in many ways so literal, yet on stage it's such a simple and kind of abstract idea, and it's a very beautiful moment where I think all the departments are working together, where you see both projections and scenery and costumes and lighting, and all of that come together.
The set proves to be simple, elegant, and at times breathtaking. It also incorporates a spider web of rigging for the chorus to climb and interact with. It not only gives them something to do, but it helps create the illusion of being on a ship.
The rigging of the ship seemed to be the thing that, if we used it in the right way, could be the most beautiful to look at, but it was a question of how much rigging and what parts of the rigging to eliminate, and that it was just graphically interesting without being absolutely accurate. For instance, when we were looking at the rigging on the ship, there are usually lines, vertical lines, and there are horizontal lines. And we said when we add all the horizontal lines in, you know, it feels like we're doing Gilbert and Sullivan. It feels like, you know, something that now you want to see the rest of the ship. But when we used just the vertical lines, It enhanced the vertical lines of the ship.
There's also a moment when the ship opens up to reveal where they render blubber into oil.
The moment in the opera when they're rendering, this big piece of blubber, we needed finally to see something.
Unlike a movie where CGI can create anything in vivid detail, Brill asks audiences to fill in details with their own imaginations.
I think we're just giving them enough to take them on that journey, and they really have to go the rest of the way with it.
Brill hopes audiences, like Ahab, will become obsessed with that elusive great white whale, Moby Dick.
That was KPBS arts reporter Beth Accomando. The San Diego Opera's production of Moby Dick will have 4 performances over the next week and a half at the Civic Theater.
Now to our public square. Boy, did I hear from some of you last night about my interviews with San Diego council member and mayoral candidate Carl DeMaio and union leader Michael Zucchet. As we told you earlier, a state regulatory board is going to court next week on behalf of the city's largest union to try and remove the pension reform initiative from the June ballot. Some of you felt I was too hard on council member DeMaio and too easy on union leader Zucchet, a former council member. J.C. Jones said this about Zucchet's comments. He basically said that voters were duped. They really didn't know what they were voting for. If that's not arrogant and offensive, I don't know what is. My only concern was that you did not challenge him for such a specious argument, yet you pushed Mr. DeMaio pretty hard. James Jolly was not at all happy with the interviews. He said, "You are unbiased moron. I am definitely going to lend my support to people trying to defund you morons. PBS, public bias station. I won't be watching your disgusting act again." Well, sorry to hear that, James. Chris Metcalf brought up the fact that Zucchet was convicted of fraud and extortion back in 2005 when he was a city council member, convictions which were later overturned. Metcalf writes, Zucchet, a nearly convicted city councilman, was not even challenged on his opinion of the ballot initiative. The more city workers pull from our pockets, the deeper we sink. And finally, Joseph Canisi, on the other hand, had a different view. He says, I believe that all workers, public and private, deserve and should have a defined pension plan. If your system has funding issues or some in the plan get too high a payout, restructure pay-ins or impose a cap. Throwing out the system will be disastrous in the long and short term. Well, if you want to weigh in on this conversation, you can follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, or email me, jferrian@kpbs.org. Good or bad, I always like to hear from you. I may use some of your comments on air.
You can watch and comment on any of the stories you saw tonight on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thank you for joining us. Have a great evening.
We leave you with a look at the forecast. Good night.